What was that? What was that? What was that? What was that?
I don't know.
What was that?
Let's talk about it.
All right, guys. Welcome back to Redefine Our Prime. My name's Chris.
I'm Ron.
I'm Gabe.
And we just watched Dark Phoenix. What was that?
I think it's an X-Men movie.
All right. Before it starts, I want to say this now before I end up forgetting it. Can we just talk really quick about the Lady Gaga mutant?
Right. That made no sense.
She was great.
So
At the dance party
in the
they had
dance
in
party,
the backyard.
imagine it's like you get your superpower. Your Cyclops laser beam.
Finally figured out what your power is.
It's like, are you a psychic? No. Do you have super strength? No. Fly? No. Super speed? No. Telepath? No.
Claws?
How about I can sing and put on a light show? Oh, Lady Gaga. It's like, wow, you literally have someone just to throw parties, and your power is useless.
That's the probably. I mean, we're gonna talk about that space trip in a second.
Do you know who that was, by the way? It was Dazzler. She gets shitted on throughout her entire life. In comics, she gets shitted on.
Oh.
The 90s arcade game, no one picked her. Always gets shitted on.
That was
This is her moment. The big screen.
That was the first part in the
Sing.
Crushed
movie.
it.
In the movie where
Just
I
sing.
said to myself, "All right, are they taking this seriously anymore?" Because it was kind of stupid. But let's get into the movie itself. All right, that space mission. How did you feel about it? Want to talk about the impracticalities first?
I think the movie kicks off with a space mission, right? It's like,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right, we have problems. We need the X-Men to save the day.
And the president calls the X-Men. Yes,
Right
you
away.
heard that correctly.
They were being hunted like a couple movies ago. Now they're like, nah, we're buddies.
That's
man.
what I was saying. I was like, how are they, like, the president's calling them?
You got the bat phone. I mean,
No one else
bat
could
phone.
do this. Only the X-Men.
They definitely left
Yeah.
out some bonding.
Yes.
that went
Yeah.
on.
That's called character development.
There was
Yeah.
none.
But anyway, so up to space we go.
Yes, that plane, that jet that they have under the basketball court could apparently go to space. Who knew?
So yeah, we got the Blackbird,
Yeah.
and no one's wearing spacesuits.
You don't
Yeah.
need spacesuits.
That's cool.
Nah, you're good. And I guess
I get it.
the metal is designed
Right.
to survive re-entry when they come back.
Yeah, right. I don't.
Let's talk about the spacesuits again, because when Nightcrawler blinks in with Quicksilver and Quicksilver's running around, I thought the same thing. I'm like, doesn't the cold of space instantly freeze you and crush you and you die?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're just bouncing around.
Yep.
And then finally, at the end, Quicksilver does put a mask around Nightcrawler. But I'm
Right.
like, why?
It's like, why now?
Yeah, well, that's such a
I guess before.
random
I don't
thought.
know. Yeah, it was weird.
Do not get it. And then Ron actually made this comment while we were watching it, but when they bring Cyclops down to be the little laser beam,
I really enjoyed that, by the way.
I liked it, but when he hit it so perfectly, Ron's like, "Oh, if he missed, that whole ship could have just blown up."
They put everyone at risk.
I guess he's been really
It
practicing.
was like
his...
a visor on top of a visor, and he got a little reticle, and he can aim now. I don't know. It's weird.
They just wanted them to all showcase their powers. That's
But I liked that. That was the one time I was all for Cyclops
But
using his
you know what drove me crazy about that? Now, they all used their powers, right?
In that one scene, yeah.
Except for Raven. She didn't do anything. She sat there and complained
But
the
her
whole
power
time, right?
is to...
Okay,
She was blue.
but you see, here's my point. Then she goes and complains to Professor X saying, you know, maybe you should change it to the X-Women because all the women are saving the guys. First of all, I'm pretty sure Nightcrawler saved everybody, and I don't want to get political. I'll never do that, but I don't like when politics ruins the movie for me. All right, I thought they went a little too far with
Well,
that.
they all would have been dead if Jean Grey didn't eat the Phoenix.
She did eat the Phoenix.
Yeah.
But
And she, if you remember, the Phoenix was not only entering her, but also I'm gonna go kill your friends right quick.
Yeah.
And then she was like, no,
I'm so hungry.
Come in.
No, it's just I'm watching the movie and I'm not doubting the female characters at all. I thought they were doing great. They're all using their powers. Everyone was doing a good job. And then she just had to say that. It's like, come on.
Ron, it's not only the men in black, but the women in black, but it's the X-Men and...
No, I know. Listen, I just don't like when they throw politics. Whether I agree with the politics or I don't agree with the politics, I don't like when they throw it into when I'm trying to have fun. Okay, that it just took me out of it a little bit.
All right, so let's just move around. There's just some crap that we just need to talk about in
Yes,
this movie. So
crap
that
is right.
happens. They
It's
land.
crap.
They go to the party. Lady Gaga crushes it, but then Jean Grey freaks out because she sees fire. Flashbacks, fire, boom. Where are we going else now? I don't know.
I don't know. We can talk about just.
So Mystique.
Want to talk about the end? Let's talk about the end.
Let's talk
Let's talk about when it was over.
Mystique.
I mean, so yeah, let's talk about Mystique. She was in very little scenes for this trailer, right?
Yep.
So everyone's like, "What's gonna happen?"
Yep.
And well, she's dead.
Yeah.
She's
Like when people are like, wow, it's funny when this is their 4th trailer they've released now, and she's literally been in one piece.
Same scene.
And then after that happens, they literally cut to a grave. So it's not like they're even trying to hide it. Like, oh, she might be somewhere else. No, it's like,
no, she's dead.
That scene
she'll
where
kill us all.
that scene where she died was one of the few scenes I kind of enjoyed because
clapped.
I thought the Phoenix. Well, okay, her death itself, yeah, maybe. Yeah. But the Phoenix was able to start using her powers a little bit. I really wanted to know more of what she could do. When she first got her powers and she's laying in space, I was like, "What is she pulling a Princess Leia from The Last Jedi?" I was like, "What in the rule book says you could do that?" I don't like when heroes or villains. I don't like when their powers are unclear.
She has unlimited power.
Yeah,
she can glow forever.
It with terrible CGI.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
I just kind of want to know what she could do, what she can't do. Like, I didn't think she needed to fly until the end because that kind of took me out of the movie because she goes to find her father, right? They should have shown a transition scene where she's on a train. Maybe she blows up a chipmunk or, like something.
Can she fly, though, in the regular?
She can, yeah.
No, that's fine. I'm fine with that. But fly in the end when you're at your prime, when you're at your highest level,
Okay.
when you've prestiged. I just, her flying took me out of the movie because it ruined the pacing. I'm going to go find my father. Okay, literally, the next scene, she's knocking on the door. It's like, oh, that was quick. You didn't look at on Google. You didn't go to, anywhere to...
Well, speaking of pacing, the movie had none.
Yeah.
It had no pacing.
That's one thing.
We mentioned that in the spoiler-free. The pacing was just horrendous from start to finish. There was never a part where I was like, okay, this transition's doing well. They're doing a good job. It was bounce, 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 bounce.
All over the place. The characters were all over the place. Professor X, he was the only character with depth.
I did like how this movie actually went into... This is one of the pros for this movie, I'll give it. Because this is the first X-Men movie that went into Professor X actually doing wrong. Right? Like, I liked how Mystique said...
Yeah.
What do you think the X stands for in the front of X-Men? Like, that was the first, I was like, oh, yeah, they're actually, challenging his authority.
Yeah. I just thought, they portrayed him a lot more like Magneto early on than Professor X. And, suddenly he's like, the humankind is important, so I need my guys to,
yeah.
And we're going to risk all my guys.
We'll sacrifice
Yeah, he was totally willing to sacrifice
that's some
his
shit
people.
Magneto used to say.
Yeah.
And I get it, his perception in comics changed when big catastrophes happen, like Dark Phoenix, whatever. But it was start off, I'm just Magneto right now. I'm playing him, and I'm like, what? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Magneto showed some empathy later on too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try to move on because I really don't even know where
Mystique
Mystique are.
Right?
Mystique dies.
No one gave a shit.
No,
she died. All right. One person gave a shit,
Beast.
and I want to talk about this. Beast actually showed some emotion throughout the whole movie. I thought he stole the show in terms of the no-name actors.
Yeah, Nicholas.
Because we know that McAvoy and Fassbender were gonna bring it. They're awesome.
Yep.
But Beast was showing some emotion.
He was actually in the running for Batman too. That actor.
That would have been great.
I did like his scene in the kitchen with Professor X.
Right, that was really
scene.
cool. He cared that someone just died. Everyone else someone died.
Yeah.
He's like, let's think of the good times. Let's pour some scotch.
And I gotta tell you though, speaking of characters being flat, Storm was driving me nuts.
Man, that was
driving me nuts.
That's so sad to see.
I was just, you're in this movie for your powers. It's the only reason why you're in this movie because you're a fan favorite and you have cool powers, even though they were executed terribly.
She does have very cool powers. I thought about that a lot. I was like, wow, that's actually. And she's probably one of the strong. That's why she was one of the four.
I get that, I get that. This is before the time where she steps up and she's still trying to be all a leader but she is a leader.
Is pre Halle Berry Storm,
right?
But even Halle Berry Storm had a little more character than this one, and that's not saying much, okay?
That's
not saying much.
She got a promotion at the end and became a teacher.
Hey, I'm gonna show you some physics.
I'm like, yo, she fills in as a leader at times, and she was just no, there's one line. I don't know.
The lightning effects.
She said something. I don't even know.
So bad. Not as bad as Jean Grey's effects, but pretty bad.
And we talked about that in this.
Yeah, we did that already.
So let's try to keep, as we all know, there's not many. I think a good way to kind of build on this conversation. Let's think of some more pros, and then we'll just jump into any other cons.
I'll give you some pros.
Yeah, let's get some pros. Let's try to do a little positivity.
Most
here.
of the third act.
I said Beast, right? The third act was great. I could have done without the whole first and second act.
Mm-hmm. The second act was the worst.
Didn't care.
Couldn't figure out where I was in the movie.
But I guess you needed that. So I guess the third act was like the one that was reshot because they said the ending was reshot. So some of it's cool, whatever. Some other pros, I thought Cyclops' character from a mutant standpoint, from a comic standpoint, they finally gave him some backbone. You know, even though most of the movie he's like, I love Jean. Oh my god, I love Jean. I love, like, that's all it was. But towards the end, like, he had some cool moments.
I didn't even believe that they were in love.
Because of how bad that they done Cyclops in the old Singerverse, I guess, is that what it's called? Like, this was a little bit cool, but he still just was like, I love Jean, I guess. But still, what other cool moments we had?
Magneto doing cool stuff in the end.
Magneto's a beast, man.
Magneto is a beast.
When he crushed the train, that was pretty cool.
Even before that, when he's like, just with the helicopter scene, they're like battling.
Yeah, when he's trying to fight with Jean Grey to like the Phoenix too.
Jean Grey without Phoenix is one of the most strongest, and he was over there. She's with Phoenix already. He's over there like keeping up. You know, it's a tug of war. It was cool. I like that.
I liked the scene where he tried to kill her and he like had the railing sharpened and go for her eye, and she just kind of caught it and pulled it back and then crushed the helmet. Which you saw the crushed helmet scene in the trailers. It was cool. They just changed some of the wording. Like she was like, "Oh, you're trying to kill me. That's not. Are you threatening me? That's not a good idea." Because again, in all the trailers, they portray her as the true main villain of the movie, which is not the case.
No, these spoiler alert, because this is a spoiler review.
We can talk about.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room: aliens.
Well, no, so.
Aliens.
As someone who is,
go ahead. You want to share?
Yeah.
I'll give
you. You justified this. I know.
These aliens are the Bari Empire, the Bari, guys. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's one thing they did pull from the comics.
Yeah, but it came out of nowhere.
So at one point, Phoenix like blows up a sun and to regenerate itself. Not Jean Grey Phoenix, just the Phoenix Force, right? And doing that kills the Bari planet.
Yep.
In the comics, they don't really talk about any planet killing or anything in this one, in the movie. But, these guys come from space down to Earth, and we see these little like lights in the sky, and we're like, what is that?
Yeah.
So they show up. That's true. They I guess they're seeking revenge. I don't know. In this movie, they really explain. They're just there, like, oh, you have Phoenix.
No explanation.
We
they destroyed our world, and we're mad.
We want to control it. That's all.
They were more lustful for the power.
They really wanted to take it because then they wanted to turn Earth into their new home.
Yeah, that's what it was. So they were a bunch of shapeshifters. I don't know.
Yeah, the X-Men in the end were just like, who are you guys? Like,
when
were you part of this movie?
No. Yeah, they were like, what?
I would have been fine if it was just the Phoenix. Like, that would have been like if she would just taken on all of them, So
I'm actually okay with the aliens. Don't bother me. We're in a world where there's mutants and superheroes, and it's supposed to be a fantasy world.
But there was very
so I'm okay with them landing. So I will give another pro, which I am a fan of it. Like, again, the trailers misled me completely, but I'm okay with that because I like being surprised when I see movies. I hate when when trailers give away so many main points. And this time I was watching, like, wow, they showed Jessica Chastain's character, but I just thought she was just a random, like, manipulative human, or a mutant, not knowing that she was.
But she was a human at first, and they took her skin or whatever.
I thought she was gonna be a good person. I thought she was going to maybe be another character from Marvel, from X-Men.
See, I saw in the trailer that she was going to be a manipulator, and you said in the theater, you're like, "Wow, it's like Littlefinger all over again."
She was the main bad, but they don't explain it, and like they come as these shitty aliens that are like not really that powerful, but towards the end, she just becomes the most powerful thing because she hugged Phoenix.
I had a problem with that.
They basically become
Did she steal some power from her? Like, what happened?
Little issue. She brings her into space, right? And she says, what did she say again before?
End.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're not there yet?
I was talking when she suddenly, like, became a little bit more powerful. Because she was like nobody.
She said she was
and then she did this hug thing, and then that's when Cyclops said.
Remind me to bring that up at the end, all right?
Yeah. Jean Grey said, like, I don't want it, and she goes, I can take it from you. She's like, please. And
so we see that.
The handshake.
But then Cyclops comes in, saves the day because he loves his girlfriend. And,
and
you see sucked all the way back in.
Can I tell you that took me right out of the movie because she's like sucking the power. She's like, I want to kill you all.
Yeah.
You make me. All being all evil and it was kind of a little bit creepy. And all of a sudden, Cyclops shoots her, and she just goes through the wall like a jackass and like rolls on the ground.
And like is KO'd too.
That took me right out of the movie. I was like, oh my god.
I did like. So again, I'm counter Gabe on this point. I did not like Cyclops. I actually liked the older Cyclops better just because I like that actor too. But whatever, that's fine. Agree to
I just think
disagree.
he had a lot of cool mutant moments. Again, but his lines were just limited to "I love Jean."
Yeah,
And
but
was like,
I did like his Call of Duty
he-
slide.
he was
When
just
shot.
flat.
When he shot, so like they were shooting when they were.
But
like,
you can
stunning
tell
everyone.
that they were trying to write it so that he was eventually gonna become more of a leader, but it just never panned out.
Well, that's how.
And it's like they stopped writing midway to him becoming like more
Yeah.
like of a man, and they just like no.
Because I think Apocalypse also ends in a certain sense that shows he's going to take some sort of a leadership
and he goes back to
position.
being just
And
nobody.
he's such a sidebar. But he does do a sweet Call of Duty. He shoots
Slide
the wall
shot
and
thing.
then he does.
Yeah.
He holds shift and control and slides through and then pops up and amps up. I also liked in the old one there was a big difference when he would change like the power of his shot with the glasses. Where in this one I feel like, is it always one power? Is it supposed to always be
I
like
don't
one
know.
power level?
The one thing that did bug me is he was always wearing his visor and never any glasses. Like even at the funeral,
Yep. Mhm.
at the funeral, he's like, "Nah, I'm just gonna wear this. Like clearly there could be a threat behind me." Like no, you're like just wear your glasses.
And they show
were
the
they
side.
not invented? I don't like.
They kind of are glasses too. When they showed his side, they showed like they're just hooked like a little
Right,
like, wearing
yeah,
Ray Bans.
yeah.
But in the old one, it's like no, this is locked on because Ray Bans. I slap you, they fall off. Oh no.
Oh god, I can't control this.
Oh darn it.
The scene that we're talking about though.
You were talking about the end.
where they, no, I'm talking about where the aliens sucking the power out.
Oh
of her.
yeah.
I thought that was the end of the movie. All right.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea how long I was in there. I really just had enough already. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. She's making Professor X walk like a puppet. Oh, that's all.
a little creepy.
That's all creepy
Yeah, with
and
like
sad.
the bad
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
like,
okay, all right. You know, something's gonna happen and it's gonna be over, right? But then it didn't end. That was the second act ending and the transition into the third act on the train.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we have a third act, I
So-
guess.
so
That's where I was confused.
Let's talk about that, right?
Yeah, let's
So,
do it.
Up until the second act, what was the point of the X-Men? Did they do anything? They
No.
were not. They were just following Jean's life or trying to.
They
chase her.
were in the movie to get those collars and then get the collars
This is
off.
an X-Men movie, and we're like, no, just who cares? That's why. I mean,
Wait,
you know.
was it an X-Men movie? Because I don't see
Oh,
X-Men
you're
in
right.
the title,
Dark
dude.
Phoenix.
Just the little X with the circle around it.
Dark Phoenix.
Okay, so we're on the train now, right? We're on the
Yes.
train.
So third act was cool.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of
it was
the train.
cool.
You know, those fights would have been way cooler if you weren't confined to these walls like they were like this big. But hey,
Or if I cared about anybody. That
So
would-
yeah, we didn't care of
that would
anyone
have
at that
been cool.
point.
Yeah.
I'm since X2, when it starts off with the Nightcrawler presidential assassination scene, I've always said, man, I am all for Nightcrawler fight scenes.
He's one of the coolest
Right.
mutants.
They just didn't give him any depth in the
cool.
movie. That's
No,
all.
no.
But
yeah,
in
you
this
just-
one,
no.
because they do follow that whole religion thing, right, which you called out in the thing. He's supposed to be very
Oh,
religious.
man.
Like he's not gonna. He doesn't want to fight. He's there
You
to
know, he
be a
reads his
teleport.
Bible. You know, he just teleports. He wants
Yeah.
peace. He
He
doesn't
doesn't
want to
wanna
be
fight.
bothered at all.
And so there's the one guard looks at him and goes, "Hey, my son was a big fan of yours." So there's the character depth for
Right there, yeah, that's the only
That was
character
it.
that. Hey, I'm holding you against your will, but my son likes you,
And
so
you're-
you automatically have a bond with me now.
You're
And then,
blue because we love blue characters.
And then
I mean,
the zombies come up.
Aliens,
and-
zombies.
Well, they're like those. What's that movie with Brad Pitt? The zombie movie.
The World War Z.
They're like
Yeah.
the World War Z zombies.
I thought
but
they were
they're
just a bunch of
They're
Agent
just
Smiths,
running.
you know,
Yeah.
coming
Oh
after
my
you.
God, that's even better. Agent Smiths. Yes, they are all Agent
Oh,
Smiths.
just
Coming on the train, and everyone starts fighting, right? So they're murking the humans, they're fighting, the mutants are fighting, and then Nightcrawler's just chilling in the corner like, oh no, and he sees the cop that they bonded, because he said, my son likes you, dies. And then Nightcrawler, that's enough for him to be like,
yeah.
I was so confused.
He
That
was
part.
like,
Yeah.
kill mode. I have one. Click.
But I watched that when he's like got the guy's face and he's like, no. I'm looking at you and I
and
go,
he's like,
yeah, and I just go, why is he upset? And then you're like, oh, because his son likes him. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's why?
I missed that
What?
one, to be honest. I
Really?
didn't even know.
That was why? Like, he's got your baseball card, bro.
yeah, and then Nightcrawler gets pissed,
just
and then
kills everything.
that
Weapons and all.
5 minute
Knives. He had
was it like
knives. He had.
in total was it probably like 2 to 3 minutes
Probably.
of Nightcrawler actually fighting?
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot,
Yeah.
but just seeing him do those moves, his tail is like a dagger.
He got a couple tail kills in
got
there.
like a knife dagger and then saw someone else and the tail just went through his neck. I was like, that was so cool. It had such potential, but it just wasn't enough for me.
But like, he shouldn't be. He's a religious guy.
But he's also not. Yeah, he's also
So
not
a really
supposed
nice
to
guy.
be-
Shouldn't be doing this. But all right, whatever. We need
Yeah.
action.
And Magneto's cool move where he crushes the train. I liked.
Oh, that was awesome.
I liked the thing that he did with all the guns. It was kind of a callback to X1, where X-Men 1, where he had all the guns pointing at everybody. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep.
It was just that whole act was really to show each power.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so we got Storm out there, we got some lightning. So,
I just wish that we earned it and it built up to it, but it really just didn't.
Nah.
Yeah.
So what else happened in the train?
So we want to talk about the end with the Phoenix, or
so then hold on. Then Jean Grey decides that she's gonna save her family. Right. That's
right.
Her and Professor X have a conversation in his head.
Yeah. But before that, right? They were trying to wake her up.
Yeah.
And, like, I know that they disabled the collars, but that shit was bright red, and it was still on her. I'm like, why don't we just take off the collar? Maybe that'll wake her up.
Good point.
I was looking at that, I'm like...
I didn't even think of that.
I was like, this is really bugging me. And I was sitting next to our buddy, and I turned to him, I'm like, why don't you just take off the collar? He's like, oh, they disabled it. I'm like, yeah, but it's bright red. You're trying to wake her up. This thing suppresses powers, because that's what the collars do. So she's just there, and they're like, wake up! And, like, full-blown collar. I'm like, oh, it was just bugging me. It was just... Yeah. So
then she just disintegrates the collar because she wakes up because she wants to protect her family. Gives like a Kamehameha to the evil Jessica Chastain. She goes flying off, and then she's like, "I'm going to protect my family." So that scene in the trailer, where again, complete mislead, because in the trailer, Magneto says she's coming. And then it shows that scene where the train is flipping, and it looks like she's messing up. So again, I was kind of like, oh, I like how they misled me there. But I thought it would have been really funny because she's like, I'm protecting my family, the people I care about. And it shows,
they didn't give a shit the whole movie. Everyone's on their own agenda.
And it shows her using the force field that they showed when she was a baby for all the good guys. And then I was like, what if you just flash to Magneto and he doesn't have one on? He's just
thought about that too. He's like,
I'm sorry.
That would have been great.
Sorry, I wanted you dead.
Exactly. Because it's like, except for you, because you were trying to kill me like legit 30 seconds ago.
But
now he gets
that's
one too.
Another point, like, it's all about family at the end, and like that's what X-Men's about. But like the first two acts, just like there was no family build-up. No. People didn't cry when people died. Like it just everyone just like their own agenda. No. You know, so that was kind of weird.
So now,
all right. Well, okay, so I think Jessica Chastain, Phoenix is about to kill Jessica Chastain. But if she kills her, the power will kill all the X-Men, right? So Jessica Chastain says some crap like, your emotions make you weak.
Really quick, sorry. They did do, after this happens, she lands the train. There is a pretty cool showing of Dark Phoenix, or the Phoenix, Jean Grey's powers, when she kills like 5 of those Agent Smith people with their powers. Right? Yeah. So she kind of she was like looking at them, and they literally,
I was like, this is cool.
They turn to dust. Yeah. And then the one actually gets her from behind, and she's like, she's pierced with like this big like thing of wood or something, and then she literally just like falls down, heals herself really quick, and then grabs the guy's head and just crumbles him into ash. So again,
that was cool. CGI could have been better, but
but it was still a cool concept. Like, I like the fighting, but again, it was only 30 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So this is probably in the movie where she should have learned how to fly, but whatever. The part where like it would be better now for the plot, whereas before it just took me out of it. Screw up the pacing. So Jessica Chastain says some crap like, your empathy is your weakness or something like that, or your emotion is your weakness. Yeah. So then she can't kill her because she'll kill the X-Men. And I remember
because Cyclops' hand, so she starts using the powers in Cyclops' hand because she's like, Jean! And his hand just starts disintegrating. And Ron's like, can you just back up a smidge?
Yeah, I thought it was. In the theater, I actually did that. I was like, can you guys all just back up for a second? That's what I'd say if I were her.
Just let me just kill her, I'll get right back to you.
Yeah. So anyway, that's too simple, so she takes her up into space. Yep. Once again, I didn't know she could go to space, but I guess she's the Phoenix. I'll suspend my disbelief. Fine. Yeah. But here's the funny thing. She could have said something witty to that line where your emotion's your weakness, but all she said back was, my emotion is my strength, or some crap like that. And I remember thinking, she wouldn't be able to hear that in space. That would be pointless. You would just go, and then she'd be like, what? And then poof, then she would just blew her up. She would have died confused.
That would be funny.
She would have died confused. And then I was just like, okay, all right, that's the end. They all go back to the school.
It wasn't the end because the explosion turns into a.
Oh yeah, how could I forget?
Beautiful Phoenix.
Yeah, it has a consciousness. It just turns into a Phoenix. Then you see it again later on, right before the credits.
Flying around
somewhere in France. It goes to France,
Just flying around.
where Professor X and Magneto are
Well,
playing
it's 'cause
chess.
she says in her
And then
voice
somewhere in
over.
Pallet Town, a child stares up.
I was just
What?
thinking the same
Somewhere in Pallet Town, a child stares up
thing.
and he
It's
sees
Ho-Oh
it.
from Pokemon.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
not-
And then he wants to be inspired. Anyway.
I want to do this every day forever.
So then they go back to the stupid school. The Beast is the teacher.
They
and
changed, so it's Jean Grey School. For
Yeah.
That was cool. So that did happen. Not like that. It happened in comics because the mansion got destroyed.
Mhm.
When it got rebuilt, it was called that. So that was a cool little nod to some.
How do they explain to the kids that it wasn't her fault that she killed?
Oh, they
Mystique?
don't talk about it. Yeah.
I mean,
They just don't.
we're gonna name our school after a school shooter. Like that doesn't make any
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
Like, that's like what they did basically.
They had to cut that scene for length.
Yeah, yeah. Let's cut that. Not any of the horrible scenes.
Well, he
before
did
that.
say, I don't know if you remember, but the Goonie kid asked, "Hey, did Jean?"
Quicksilver said something, right?
Well, he looked at Cyclops. She's like, "Did Jean really
Cyclops.
kill?"
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Yes, Goonie."
Yes,
and,
Goonie.
she didn't mean to, or something like that. So they're like, "Oh, okay."
Oh yeah, you can name our school after.
I'll accept that. Yeah.
You can name our school after her. That's fine.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So Storm.
Storm gets a promotion. She's a teacher now.
Yeah, she's
Cool.
Yeah. Let's add some depth to her
Beast,
character by
Beast
making her a
takes
teacher.
over as headmaster. That was cool also because it does.
And he finally felt like putting his makeup on, so they
Yeah,
finally got
yeah.
him to do it that morning.
Professor X just decides to take a vacation. He's like,
Yeah.
well, I've been acting like Magneto the whole time, so I'm just gonna go to Paris.
And then Magneto's like, "Hey, you're acting like me. What's up? Can we
And then
play chess?"
yeah, and then which I did like the chess thing. I thought it was a cool like little nod to like the old.
Yeah, but there was no. It was the same thing as Verno, where it's like, all right, old friend. There was no development with them at all.
Aren't they? They are supposed to be
They're best
that.
friends.
Like they
Yes.
are best friends,
friend
just
of
on
mine.
a different side.
This movie takes place in '92, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
now
in
the
'92.
90s.
Okay.
It's now the 90s.
I'm gonna do a little history criticism. Let's go back to First Class. That was Cuban Missile Crisis. So that's the early 60s. That's the early 60s.
Okay.
Early 60s. I believe it's 61. Comment if I'm wrong. I believe it's 61. Cuban Missile Crisis.
Man, Magneto looks good.
And that's the thing. It's been what 30 years.
Looks really
30
good.
years, and they all look great.
Looks.
I thought First
Good.
Class was in the 80s. In terms
60s.
Of like, wow,
Cuban
what it
Missile
was,
Crisis. Cold War 60s. Yeah.
Could be right.
Oh, anyway, they age
They-
phenomenally.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Does anyone have anything else they really want to add to this discussion?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I knew it was gonna be bad going into it, and I think the directing and the writing didn't help. I think the actors just didn't care anymore, which
Well,
is
how
sad.
would and also how would you feel, right? It's like you were working on this. Next thing you know,
Yeah,
Marvel
too.
buys Fox, so it's like, oh well, I'm out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're calling me back
That is
in for
true.
reshoots. I don't care anymore. This
Yep.
isn't going anywhere.
That's- that is
Greed
true.
killed the movie. Greed killed the
Um,
movie.
In terms of a comic book fan, the universe has been jacked up forever in this Fox thing they've created. So it's like, it's whatever. I thought the killing Mystique was. I don't know if she agreed to it or I don't know what it was.
She probably said, "Hey,
but it felt like a nod to the diehard comic fans.
She's like, I am not wearing that makeup ever again. Kill
But,
me now.
yeah, like that was weird. Like I don't know.
Well,
I
does
wonder if
she-
she agreed. I don't know what she thought about like Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, I don't know what she thought about that.
I don't think she
Does
cared.
Mystique die in the comics like that or something? Or
No, it's just she's not she's not a leader of the X-Men. She's
so it's
just
not.
not.
Like,
No, in the first
If
X-Men.
anything, she's more connected with Magneto.
Yeah, in the first X-Men, she was Magneto's
So,
sidekick, and,
it-
and she
yeah.
showed no like evidence of.
So it was
knowing
already
Professor
jacked.
X or
Like
anybody.
the team was already jacked to begin with. So it just Jennifer Lawrence was used to sell tickets throughout this whole franchise.
Yep.
Agreed.
And I love her as an actress, but I just don't love her in my X-Men movies. But yeah, killing her, I thought that was a nod to the fans. I guess I don't know, maybe.
trying it.
And then the little girl holding her little figure. I'm like,
Oh
did you
my
see that in the
God,
crowd?
yeah.
I'm like,
Oh yeah, that
really?
was so
Who
dumb.
the hell buys a Mystique figure?
That was so
Yeah.
dumb. The
Like-
X-Men are action figures in their own world. It was
Yeah,
so dumb.
and there's
But this is also we don't even know X-Men didn't even really do anything yet. Like
No.
yeah, there was no.
is that
The only
is
thing we
action-
knew was that there's a direct line to the White House.
So I was gonna
We've
say,
been
yeah,
saving the world.
is the action figure supposed to just show how like you don't get an action figure until you do at least 5 awesome things. So
I guess.
You've seen-
Yeah.
yeah.
That's that. We get no backstory. We just get this buddy connection between the president and
Yeah.
Xavier.
Yeah, we're talking about
I'm
nonsense.
done.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
we've been
done
done
with this.
3 minutes ago.
Listen, it'll be on DVD next week. Go buy it. Now,
in the
no.
bin, in that bin, in the
$2
Best Buy,
bin, yeah.
the $2 bin at Best Buy, it'll be right there.
Now, it won't make it a Best Buy. It'll be like Dollar General or like whatever.
CVS.
CVS, Walgreens.
It'll be an impulse buy.
So don't buy it unless you're just hammered and you're just like, oh, what is this? And you just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money on it.
Okay. Good.
See you guys. Like, subscribe. Tell us what you thought about Dark Phoenix.
If you disagreed, we want to know.
If you liked this movie, let us know.
Yeah.
Please, and tell us why. I want to know why.
All right. See you guys. What was that? What
was
that?
that was.
I don't know either.
It
What
was stupid.
What was it, Ron and Gabe? What was it?
I don't know.
Was it a movie?
I think so.
Did
Maybe.
you like it?
No.
All right, bye.